Hey everybody, how are you doing? When using Pro Tools you will always start with a blank session. And today I'm going to learn you how to build up a session in terms of channels or tracks. So this is what our edit window looks like in Pro Tools when we've just made a new session. This is what our mix window looks like, and as we can see it's very empty. There's nothing to do in here. How to start is by pressing Command-Shift-N, which stands for new track. And then we get our new tracks dialog, and here we can choose a few different things. First of all, we can choose how many tracks we want to create. So let's say we want to create 10 new tracks. We can just type it in on our numpad. We can also use our arrow keys up and down to change this value. Then we can choose if we want to create a mono or stereo track. We can change this by using Command and the left or right arrow key. So I'm going to right and to the left now. So that's how I juggle between mono or stereo tracks. If you have Pro Tools HD, you are also capable of doing LCR and surround stuff. Then we have over here an audio track. I'll show you more about that in a bit. And we have the track time base. So we can have a track in a time base of samples or in a time base of ticks. We can switch that by pressing Alt Command or Option Command and going up and down with our arrow keys. We can of course also use the mouse, but believe me, you don't want to use the mouse in Pro Tools. If we have it set to samples, audio will stay at a certain spot. I call this actually the time-based mode, and with ticks-based mode, it's actually based on where the bars and beats are. So if you change the BPM of your song, then it will just accordingly if a track is in ticks mode. You can also change this afterwards, so don't worry about that too much. So then, of course, tracks. Well, an audio track is simply a track that can hold audio. Let's just make one so you can see what I'm on about. So I've got an audio track. I'm fully capable of recording with this. I can input monitor this. It's really like our basic audio track. I can also drag audio in here or edit stuff in here. It's like a real recording track. Then the next one, which you can switch by pressing Command and arrow up or arrow down. I'm going down right now, is an aux input. And an aux input is a channel that cannot hold audio. It can hold automation data. That's also what we're seeing here. This is our main automation line for volume. An aux track is actually a channel that is permanently on input monitoring. So I can use a interface input or a bus input. I see that my I/O is not correct anymore, but I will fix that later. It doesn't hold audio, so this is great for reverb, FXs, and even if you're recording for talkback stuff. And we can also make a master fader, and of course a master fader, as we all know it, is our mains or our master speakers. We can also use it as a master bus. But the master fader can do more than that. A master fader is always connected to an output or a bus output. Right now it's connected to my Neumann 1 and 2, so my console 1 and 2 output, so I can control that complete output on my converter. I can also connect it to my master AES. It's still called AES, but that's another story. And now I am controlling actually my playback volume, and if I put some plugins on here, I'm actually mastering a track. I'm not recommending that, but that's something for a different video. We can do the same with a bus, so then I've got control over what's going on in the bus. After the master fader comes a VCA master, and a VCA master is a voltage controlled amplifier, as we know it from analog consoles. Here it's simply a fader which we can assign to a group, so we can assign it here to a group. So let me quickly make a group of 2 channels. Now I can assign it to this group, and you can see that I'm controlling this group. You can see it on the volume. I'm controlling the volume of that group. So if you group tracks, and you know, it's really easy to control them. This also is relative on automation. So if you have automation that goes in great wobbly lines and you want to put it down like 5 decibels, it will turn down the automation with 5 decibels. So it's all relative correct. Then after VCA we have a MIDI track, and this is a MIDI track that works with external synthesizers. So we don't have anything, we cannot insert anything on here. This track can only hold a MIDI clip, and it can listen to an input like a keyboard or something. We can record that input and we can send the MIDI to an external synthesizer, which we then can let come back on an audio channel or an aux channel, depending on what you want. But we cannot hold a software instrument on this, and for a software instrument we need the instrument track. If we make an instrument track, we can see that this can hold an instrument, and this will actually accept MIDI. So MIDI will come in, it will hold MIDI, and it will output audio. So then we are going into a more difficult part, which is, they call it, well, the first one is called channel strips, the second one delay, the third one dynamics, the fourth one EQ, and then reverb. And the last one is called YT, and the YT isn't delivered in your Pro Tools package because I made them myself. But these are all track presets. And just let me show you one, for instance, channel strips, acoustics, guitar. This is a default setup channel with a lot of stuff on here. I'm not a big fan of like factory presets. I always make my own, just as I did here. For instance, my kick preset for when I'm accepting a kick that's coming back from the console. And this is a powerful feature in Pro Tools, and how you control this. Well, this is new in Pro Tools 2018. If you're running Pro Tools 12, 11, 10 or 9, you can also do it, but there's it's some kind of a hack, and it's all explained on the internet how you need to do it. You simply need to make a folder with track templates in there, but that's something that I cannot explain. So if we make a new default workspace window and we go to the left here, we can see our track presets, and we can also control them all. And what I would like to do is just remove this whole Avid thing. I don't see myself needing it. And now I have my YC folder, of course, and let's say that I'm making like a stereo audio track with I don't know, a FEP filter on it, and with some I don't care stuff, and a compressor on it. We are calling this like Woohoo. This is our Woohoo channel. We can right click on it, save as track preset, and we can like add a category. We can name it, like, so let's make a YouTube category like I just did, and we can simply save it. And as we can see right now, if we go up, then we have our YC category and our YouTube category, and here we have the Woohoo channel, and we can create it, and there we have it. So this is really basic what this track presets does. Pro Tools is much more powerful with things like track presets and also channel templates and snapshots and that kind of stuff, but that's not something for this video, that's something for another video. So with that being said, I want to end this video over here. If you liked it, let me know with a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, I could understand that, but then you know what to do. Press the thumbs down, leave a comment below with suggestions for future videos. Also check out Patreon over here. Would mean a lot if you just check it out and maybe see if you can help me a bit on the financial side. Also check out one of my other videos over here. For now, I want to say bye bye.